Show. Tune in on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Join us live every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. for our all-new Restaurant and Foodie Show. The Restaurant and Foodie Show will discuss local, small-sized restaurants and food establishments here in the Tampa Bay area. Learn about those hidden gems that many people are unaware of. Hear local business owners talk about their restaurant, food items, specials, and more. Listeners can call into the show and discuss their favorite local food establishment, win prizes, and discuss their favorite food items. Join us live every Saturday between 1 and 2 p.m. beginning June 8th here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
It's now time for Connecting Caregivers with author, speaker, caregiver advocate, and talk show host Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for caregivers.
Caregivers around the world today, it's time to lift you up. It's time to celebrate. Good afternoon and welcome to Connecting Caregivers Radio with me, Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregivers with love, laughter, and lessons learned. On the show where you can find help and hope. Boy, that's a mouthful, isn't it?
I know, and you get it right every time.
I try. Kind of say it in my sleep sometimes.
I think so.
And that voice you hear, of course, is my best friend, co-host, and sidekick, not psychic, Lynn Thornley.
Good afternoon.
I'm so glad you're here today.
Nice to be here.
I know we were almost kind of matching.
Yeah, we kind of look like.
In the beginning, when we used to do the show, we never planned what we're going to wear. And almost all the time we match. It's weird.
We just have the same vibe today.
Yeah, I guess. And that little giggle you hear here in the studio with me is my friend Norman Harris. We're going to talk to him on the second half of the show. Welcome, Norman.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Glad to be here. How are you doing today, Ed?
Doing all right. Thank you.
That's good. That's good. I want to give a shout out to our newest listeners. We have Tansy and St. Pete. Isn't that a nice name, Tansy? I never heard of that name.
Different, eh?
Tansy and St. Pete. We have Jillian in Tampa, and we have Patrice in Largo.
Oh, welcome, lady.
Like I always say, there's always plenty of room around the Connecting Caregivers table for more listeners, whether you listen to us live on AM/FM or on YouTube or on Facebook or my website. My grandchildren are like, we're going to hear your voice for the rest of our lives.
Aren't they lucky?
Sorry. That's the way it goes.
Until the technology changes and like a cassette, then, this is all going to become old hat.
Well, it's funny. So I'm having my bathroom renovated because I can't be the girl that's out there talking about fall prevention and I'm the girl that falls in the tub.
Whoa.
Would not be good. So I'm taking the tub out and putting in the walk-in, and a big marble bench, my height, and a big high toilet, my height, and a bidet.
You're going to be the cleanest gal in town.
Well, you know what? I'm trying to prepare for my aging.
Right.
And, when I was talking to my granddaughter last night, and I was like, I don't want you to have to take care of me. I don't want to, and I figure if I got it set up upstairs, right, the bathroom and everything. Oh, and I'm getting a new recliner. I'll tell you about that later.
I have to get one.
I'm getting it for free. And
that's the best way to get it.
I could afford that.
Because someone, a company found me on YouTube as a influencer, and they said they want to send me a recliner that has like a massage in it too.
I don't want that.
And we don't have to put it on.
No.
And if I will do a YouTube segment, they'll send me a recliner. So we're chatting.
Wow.
But that was like kind of cool.
It is.
That was really cool.
Very cool.
Plenty.
So yeah, I'm very excited. I think they're going to have a commercial in the next conference. And I also hooked up with a grab bar company that is sending me the most fabulous black grab bars for my new bathroom. And they're going to have a little commercial at the conference too. So that's kind of cool.
That's nice. You remember you used to go in the go in the bathroom and somebody was old and they were so medical looking and so ugly.
And they're cold sometimes.
Yes,
and they're hot
and now
sometimes.
they look.
No, this is all the ones I'm getting are all vinyl coated, and this is
Vinyl coated.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is something I learned. So the woman's like, "Well, where do you want to put them?" This is the expert in grab bars. And I said, "Well, I want one by the bench." And I thought I would have it on an angle. She goes, "That's the worst thing you want to do because what happens is you grab it and it's slippery and you slip right down. Your hand slips right down and you fall. It's either got to be vertical or horizontal."
Boy, that makes sense, but I would have done what you on the angle and pull myself up.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm getting a long one next to the bench.
Right.
And a long one next when I go in. but they'll be long enough that, God forbid, if I do fall on the floor, I can grab the bottom and pick myself up because the grab is going to be very long. Well, I'm working it.
Yes.
So I'm thinking, after that bathroom's done and everything, and I get that new recliner, all I need is a microwave and a refrigerator upstairs, and I can have 2 places to live.
Yeah, and you need that chair to take you up and down
Yeah.
when you need it.
Scarlett said, my granddaughter said she'll take care of that for me, so we'll see.
That's good.
But I'm working it because really, I want to age in place, and everybody needs to think about this, about your future and what you do and how your cabinets are set up, because you don't want to fall. You don't want to have to count on other people if you don't have to.
Right.
So I'm very excited today. We have Vicki Tapia with us today, and she's the founder of Alzheimer's Authors. Welcome, Vicki.
Hi, thank you.
How are you today?
I'm good. Trying not to get blown away by the wind we're having
Oh,
this
really?
morning.
Where are you?
What's that?
What state are you
Where
in?
am I?
Yeah.
I am in Billings, Montana.
Montana.
Oh, okay.
So that's a ways.
I know.
So, Vicki, tell us a little bit about your backstory and how you got to be with Alzheimer's, how you started Alzheimer's Author.
AlzAuthors was the result of 3 women who experienced caregiving for someone with dementia. We met online 9 years ago and decided to promote our work together. And we did that for a while, and we realized at that point there were so many people out there looking for information.
Yeah.
Not just a medical caregiver, guys. They wanted to know about a real person,
Right.
a real caregiver,
Right.
and what it was like. I think, our goal was to let them know they would come out the other side. And so we started promoting other books and actually blogs for quite a long time. And we developed a website, and we posted once a week. We would post a new author.
And
telling
before
their
you know
personal
it.
story. What's that?
And before you know it.
Oh, and before you know it, yeah, after 9 years, we probably have brought close to 400 authors
So
of
cool.
all various types of books, from poetry to children's books to caregiver guides to personal stories.
Yeah.
We have a little bit of everything on our website.
So, well, what made you decide to write a book about your journey with dementia, your family's journey with dementia?
I didn't even know I was writing a book to begin with. I was actually trying to cope with caregiving by writing. Every evening I would sit down at my computer and just let all my feelings come out my fingers
Yeah.
into the keyboard.
Wow.
And after a couple of years, I thought, I think I'm writing a book. It just was one of those slow awareness things. And it went on from there. I know that I finished the manuscript after my parents passed away. I put it in a drawer somewhere, left it for 3 years, only to be taken out when a friend or an acquaintance might say, you wrote a journal, didn't you? Do you think I could borrow it?
Wow.
And I would get, and the feedback I would get would be people saying, why are you publishing this? I think it could help other people. So
Yeah.
and in the end, I think that what I was looking to do was to make someone else's journey a little less painful. I certainly stubbed my toe more than once along the way. And if I could make someone else's journey a little less chaotic and stressful, then I had more than accomplished my goal. So it just, yeah.
And I love the title of your book. Somebody Stole My Iron. A Family Memoir of Dementia.
Based on a real life incident, the iron issue.
Oh.
My
Yeah.
mom called me one day to say, Vicki, somebody broke into my apartment and stole my iron. And I
First thing you'd steal.
Right.
what an odd thing. She said it was in my dresser drawer and someone found it and took it.
Oh.
So we never did solve the mystery of what happened to her iron. We kind of, after the facts figured out, she probably lent it to someone who forgot who
Right.
had lent it to her.
Or just put it somewhere else.
That's
Or
funny.
she left it in the laundry room or something down the hall. I don't know, but it just seemed like a good title for a book.
Yeah, when I wrote my book, we were focusing. My mother had stage 4 colon cancer, but my mother also had dementia, and I didn't know that until after she passed away. Until I looked at my journals and everything. But I remember one time, my mother lived in independent living in a beautiful community, and I would pick her up every morning at 7. She'd be with me all day. And she kept telling me someone was coming in her apartment and messing up her papers. She had like that sacred stack of papers next to the telephone. And I knew no one was going in there. She lived in independent living. And so she was so agitated. I just went up to her apartment with her. I stood there for a little while and I said, Mama, I'm going to be right back. And I just walked down the hallway and I stood down the end of the hallway for a little while. And then I came back and I told my mother, I just met that witch out in the hallway. And I told her, if you ever mess with my mother's papers again, you're going to have to answer to me. And she said, thank you, Linda. And it was done, but I didn't know it, right?
I love the way people, come up with ideas like that.
Yeah, I just don't want my mother to be agitated.
Right.
And you're not going to convince her different.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. I think some of the most devastating things we can do are to try to convince people with dementia to come over to where we're at in the journey of life rather than knowing we have to walk back to where they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. So what are some of the lessons you learned along the way?
Well, there's been a few. And I think that along the way, I might not have even realized what was happening until I can look back with perspective. I learned the importance of kindness. Sometimes I wasn't, and it wasn't because I just was naturally kind. Sometimes I was not kind to my mother. I was frustrated and I was irritated. And the more I would try to reason with her and get her to see my point of view, the worse things would get. And finally, I started to realize that if I came to where she was and I was kind and generous with my kindness, that the whole situation would turn out a lot better than if I did the opposite. I needed to learn to respect her feelings. Her reality was very different than my reality, but
But it was her reality.
It was her reality. There was absolutely nothing I could do to convince her I was not stealing her money to travel. She would call up and talk about me in third person. My daughter is stealing my money to travel. Can you help me? I was like, well, I am your daughter. I know I'm not stealing your money. I think being patient, knowing that I was going to be repeating things at least 20 times.
Yep.
I still have trouble repeating things. My husband does that to me sometimes. Want me to repeat things.
Part of it is aging. What were you going to say, Norman?
I was going to ask the question. What did you do to cope with that? Any therapy, or did you speak to anyone regarding that transition and process that you were dealing with your mother?
My mom saw a therapist. Maybe I should have.
Right, and this was a while ago too, because your parents passed away like 15 years ago, right?
Yeah, they did, but it's still pretty fresh in my mind.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying we've all been a lot more education about everything that's going on.
Yes.
Than there was at the time you were doing it.
I was doing the best I could with the information at hand, but I could do it so different now than I did it then. Thank goodness for my husband, my kids, my good friends who kind of walked me through it, and other stress relievers that I took my dog for a walk, or I sat down on my computer and typed. All those things kind of helped.
Right. So
in the end, I learned I wasn't alone. I met other people that were going through much the same as I was. It really helped me to know I wasn't alone.
I'll tell you, sometimes people come to a support group and they'll talk to me like the next day and they'll say, oh my goodness, I feel so much better because I'm not the only one that has those problems, and some of them were a lot worse than mine.
Yeah. Oh, it puts it into perspective, doesn't it?
Yes. I do a monthly journaling workshop, and for a couple of years now, and couple of months ago, I asked the group, I said, today I'd like you to just journal a little bit about what this group has meant to you. And every single one said, I made friends.
Oh,
I made
yeah.
friends.
That's major.
There's nothing. Yep.
Because nobody wants to be
when-
alone.
Nope.
Nobody wants to be alone, I don't think. Well, maybe there's somebody out there, but it's not me.
No, not many people. So how did you handle your caregiver stress?
Well, I had to let go of my guilt, and that was very difficult. And I had to let go of second guessing myself. I tormented myself by thinking, should I move them to this place or should I move them to that place? I mean, I had to quit tormenting myself. And I also, let go of what I expected from my mom or my dad. I just had to let go of that part.
They didn't live with you, right?
What's that?
They didn't live with you?
No, they did not live with me. They lived in an assisted living
Good.
facility, and then it was the memory care.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
progression.
Yeah.
Are you
But,
are you the only sibling?
basically, I do have a brother who chose not to be involved.
Yeah, we get that.
Wow. I actually just read something just to sort of attest to what she indicated, that 73% of caregivers to family members or to loved ones are women.
Yeah,
Over
Yeah.
73%.
but that's growing too, because I'll tell you, I just took some stats on my YouTube channel yesterday, and most of my newest subscribers are men from the ages of 40 to 60. And I thought, well, that's because usually I have a large female audience. And I'm thinking because we're talking about it so much more, and men get their information from the internet
We do.
Uh-huh.
That's
and
true.
YouTube. So I think that's why.
That's including myself.
Not
Yeah.
the 70 and 80-year-olds don't.
No.
Yeah, but that 40 to 60, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's I was shocked. I was like, okay. But whoever it is, they're listening for a reason, and they need to find this information because
Indeed.
we're living so much longer than we ever did before.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. And even our dogs are getting dementia. Have you read about that?
No.
They have figured out that dogs can get dementia.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, how do you know? They just keep barking the same question?
Oh, that was good.
That
Good,
was-
Linda.
That was a good one.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very
Wow.
interesting.
Wandering. Yeah, I know. I was surprised. I think finding the humor is also very important. Although at the time you might not feel like
Yep.
finding any humor.
Right,
If you
right.
can find some, like the whole stolen iron thing,
Yeah.
and that helps you cope too. I think for me, the things like writing and exercising was a huge factor for me in just getting rid of the emotions and
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, one of my caregivers, her daughter, because her daughter works all week long, her daughter comes over on Saturday mornings and gives her mother 3 hours. And one of the things her mother says she does is she said she goes to the park, she puts on headphones and listens to a good podcast or one of my shows or whatever, and she walks. So she said, I get exercise, I get education, and I get nature.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, that's a pretty great caregiver to figure that all out.
Yes.
Yeah,
She
it
needs
is.
to do you a
It
Google
is.
review.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you can just learn that, I find caregivers when they finally decide to give themselves a little break and to realize this
most
is not their
caregivers-
fault.
And I think we're too hard on ourselves. A lot of us as caregivers, and that goes all the way back to that second guessing thing and the guilt. And a lot of us, of the people I've visited with over the years, have an extreme amount of guilt that they haven't done something right.
Yeah. I always, when my caregivers talk about the guilt, I said, did you cause this disease? No.
Yeah.
No. So unless you caused it, you have nothing to be guilty about.
No, my biggest thing was to get over the embarrassment of what people thought because, well, my husband, they would come for him and he would start cursing and I was embarrassed. And then I realized it's not me doing it. Don't be embarrassed about it. And he can't help himself.
Right.
So if they
But it's
can't
hard.
understand it, but after a while you get very, I
Yeah.
don't know if it's callous or whatever, but when the police would come, because he would call them on me. At first, oh yeah,
Yeah.
tell him I was an imposter.
Yeah.
And I said to him one time, I said, look, I have my cross that you gave me. He said, you hand it off as you walk out the door. I said, look, I have that tattoo. I have a little hot dog tattoo on my backside. He goes, dime a dozen. Then I realized,
a tough one.
yeah, he was tough. So yeah,
But see, and you and I don't know everything we know now.
we didn't know anything
Right.
back then. You weren't doing it.
No.
But I think it's easier for people I think certain people are caregivers.
Yes.
Or they don't have to be right.
Right.
You know, I didn't have to be right. He told me that the real estate went through the mirror and knocked this pendulum clock of mine. I went, honey, they couldn't. It was a mirror. And he got really agitated. And I said, listen, if they hit that clock again, call me because that's it. And then he was happy.
Learned, yeah.
He was fine, but you learn. But some people can't learn and they fight.
But that's the difference from trying to drag the person to your reality rather than walking back to their reality.
Exactly.
And the sooner we learn that lesson, the easier our lives will be.
But it's easier for some because some people have to be right all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it
They
depends
are.
on personalities.
Yeah, it's a big
and I think it
thing.
depends on the relationship you have with the person that you're caring for.
Yeah.
This is a whole nother show, but people will say, how do I take care of my mother when she never took care of me? That's a whole nother topic.
That is a topic for sure.
But yeah, it's interesting. So it depends on who's doing the dance too.
Mm-hmm.
So Vicki, what's the last thing you would like our caregivers to hear from you today?
That you can do this. You got it.
You got it. And where can our listeners find you?
Vicki Tapia at gmail.com is my email address. You can find me at my website is VickiTapia.com.
And where can they find AlzAuthors?
AlzAuthors is AlzAuthors.com.
Okay.
And we just are in the process of getting a new website. It's looking beautiful.
It's exciting.
Nice.
So check it out.
Thank you so much for being with me, my friend. We'll talk again soon.
I hope so. Thank you for your time.
Thanks. Have a
Have a
delicious
great
day.
day.
Have a great
You
day.
too.
And now it's time to hear from our wonderful partners, because you know the deal. If you don't hear from them, you don't hear from me. So don't go away. We'll be right back on Connecting Caregivers Radio.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Arden Courts is not just a place to live. It's a place to call home. Residential living combined with quality caregiving. This is the philosophy behind Arden Courts. Communities created exclusively for individuals with Alzheimer's disease and related dementia who would benefit from a safe and structured environment. For additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides, call 888-478-2410 to locate a community nearest you. Inquire about our educational seminars, resource library, or support groups, or simply feel free to ask questions you may have about Alzheimer's and related dementias. At Arden Courts, we know, we understand, and we can help because memory care is all we do. Remember, call 888-478-2410 for additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides.
Sean W. Scott has been practicing elder law and qualifying clients for Medicaid for over 30 years. While his practice is in all areas of estate planning, such as durable power of attorney, healthcare surrogates, and wills, he also prides himself on having a 100% accuracy rate on getting clients approved for Medicaid. Why Medicaid, you may ask? Do you want to pay up to $16,000 a month for a nursing home should the time come? Obviously, no one wants to have to endure this cost. So even though you may have planned well for retirement, the reality is things happen. Planning ahead is never too soon. You need to make sure your income and assets are protected so that you can take care of you and your loved ones. Florida law is very specific on how and what is protected and how to protect it. Give Sean a call. He can help. 727-539-0181. That's 727-539-0181.
My mom was getting older, but she was able to live pretty independently until recently. When her case manager told me she would be discharged from rehab in just a few days, I didn't know what to do. But I knew for sure that she couldn't go back living alone at home. So that's when I contacted Sunway's Senior Living Concierge. My Senior Living Concierge, Lisa, was there for me through the whole process. and was a free service for us to compare in-home care options and how that cost would compare to assisted living. With Lisa's help, we found a great new home for Mom, and she is thriving. Take it from me, don't go through this journey alone.
Hi, I'm Ellie Baldwin, co-founder and president of Sunways Senior Living Concierge. We're a free placement and concierge service for families to help compare senior living communities and find the best place for you or a loved one. Call us today at 727-314-6451 or find us online at sunwaysseniorliving.com.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
I love those gals at Sunway Senior Living, and they've just added 2 more employees, so they are growing, which is absolutely fabulous because they are the best in town. And the other day on Sage's Theater was on the Kelly Clarkson show.
I know. I didn't see it. Did you see it?
I saw it.
Was it
really
fabulous?
good. Yeah, it was really good. I was very excited for them. So this afternoon we have Norman Harris with us. And in fact, Norman and I just met like a week ago. But he has some affiliations with companies that I really care about. And he has a new mission. And we're going to talk about that today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you for being here.
It's a blessing to be here, seriously.
So what is your mission?
My mission is to speak to aging adults and their families to assist them with navigating the complexities of healthcare so that they can maneuver comfortably, right? Providing them with those resources and knowledge to age comfortably.
Because it's so hard. You know what happens? I can't navigate, let's say, or I don't know how to figure it out, and I don't know how to go on the internet, and I call up on the phone and nobody answers me, or I have to do, and so they just don't do it.
Yes.
They just don't do it. They don't get the help they need. Sometimes they don't even get the doctor appointments they need because they don't know what to do.
Right. That's very true. And with Comfort Measures Consulting, a new initiative in which I began, those are the solutions that I wanted to provide, right? I ran into it through my experience in skilled nursing and working with family members out in the community. I realized that the need for being prepared for that stage in which you're most vulnerable, right, was there, right?
Yeah.
A lot of family members aren't having that conversation in the households, right? We talk about college, we talk about retirement, but we don't talk about who's going to take care of mama.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
And we don't talk about death.
We don't talk about death. Those conversations don't happen until you're in that situation where there's a traumatic experience, a health crisis, and then what do I do now?
Well, and no matter what you do in life, a crisis is not good at any age in your life.
That's true.
If we can be prepared, and there are certain things we know, we're going to age.
Yes.
Things are going to happen. It's not going to go away just because we don't want it to happen.
Right.
And we need to be prepared for that.
Yes.
Because if not, not only does it hurt us, it hurts our family and our loved ones too.
Very true. Very true.
And I don't think people realize that.
Nope. And a lot of family members, the dynamics change, right? When they lose that staple in the family, right? Mom passes away and there's no preparation. Now the brothers and sisters are bickering and arguing. The relationship, the whole family dynamic changes because there wasn't proper preparation.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard family members, and just there's not sharing anyone's business, but they have arguments over who has the vehicle.
Yeah.
Right? Who has the mom's favorite watch.
Yeah.
Those are things that can be prepared prior to.
You know what I think is a really good way to prepare that?
Mm-hmm.
Give them the watch now.
Give them the watch now.
And then you get to see them enjoy it.
Right.
Because you're probably not wearing it anymore.
Yes, yep.
You know, my mother's lawyer, when she had a will and all, but she said, "What do I do with my jewelry? Do I need to make a list?" And he says, "I'll let your kids fight over it after you go."
Oh man.
Yeah, like why?
Only thing, my sister and I were really easy, but
some other families
no,
no.
they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
But I still think with a lot of your possessions and things, if you can give them away while you're still alive and watch the person enjoy it is wonderful.
Yes.
Because those other possessions that you have that you think they want, they don't want them.
Right.
Isn't that sad? I have cupboards
I don't know
full
what
of
you're going to
stuff no one
thinking
wants.
about your stuff.
Yeah, the stuff I have.
Well, it's funny whenever I have a support group, and I have a male in my support group for a long time, and his wife passes away, the first call I get is, Linda, do you like Hummels? You know, those little German statues that they all used to collect?
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, nah, that's okay.
I tell him I have a collection I could add to it. I collected for 60 years
stuff,
and now it's all
it's
there.
so beautiful.
Nobody wants it.
Right.
It's not worth much anymore because kids don't like it.
Yeah, that's why you enjoy your own stuff.
Right.
I never bought anything I didn't like.
Yeah, well, that's good.
That's good.
And I've enjoyed it. I'd like to get rid of it now.
Yeah, or the other thing you can do is if you have certain things, that just put a little sticker on the back of it. A photo or the bottom of the vase or whatever. Mary, Kathy,
We're
whoever.
going to start labeling now?
Yeah, why not?
You're right. That's an idea.
You know what? If somebody comes over to my house and they tell me, I really, really like that picture, Linda, you've had it for so long, I've always liked that picture, I'm going to put their sticker on it.
Got it. Well, see, in my family specifically, my siblings know I'm the favorite, so that's already established. It's already established.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to yours and put stickers with my name on them.
Oh, I'm not inviting you to visit Heidi.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. So we're talking about education.
Yes.
So I think part of your advice is going to be to get an education.
Right. Yes.
And how do people do that?
By tuning into stations like this, actually bringing awareness. One way that I'm doing it through my platform, through Comfort Measures, is I'm introducing a platform, podcast. So a video podcast in which I'll interview experts in healthcare, leaders, individuals out in the community who are doing great work for the elderly, to actually share their stories, share their resources, but also highlight healthcare professionals as well, right?
Yes.
In an entertainment space. My platform that I want to design, and I am designing, is to provide entertainment, right? But also provide education. Me, I love laughing. I love joy. I love fun, right? When I'm in my spare time, I'm watching things that excite me. But however, I do like to learn at the same time. So I'm a Discovery Channel type of person, right? I love what's the Nature Channel, the Food Channel, as you can see.
Yeah.
Right. I love watching those things to learn recipes and right. So, but those channels are typically finding ways to actually entertain at the same time.
Exactly.
So that's the brand that I want to establish with in healthcare.
Because you know what, everybody likes to laugh. You know, the other night I spoke at a known church for their Stevens ministry group, and we laughed.
There you go.
And we had some tears. And we did some stuff, you know, and when I left, the next day I got an email and they were like, thank you. You like lit up the room. People needed to laugh. People, you know, because caregivers do some pretty silly stuff when you think about it.
It is very,
you know?
Right. I wish, and the thing about it is, even in working in skilled nursing as an administrator, there's so many situations, of course it's private, right? HIPAA and everything that we would talk about in our morning meetings that were just hilarious, but of course we can't share those things. But
you can without names.
Yes, you can. Yes, you're right. You're right. But it's just looking at caregiving is so serious, right? It's very dependent upon people, right? Labor, our CNAs, nurses. There's other sectors that's involved in healthcare in general, where there's biomedical waste, pharmacy,
right? All
of those entities play a part in taking care of the elderly, and that's my mission with the Let's Get Comfy podcast.
And I want to praise those people that do that because they don't get the accolades that they should get many times.
They don't.
They're taken advantage of. That CNAs don't get paid enough.
No, not at all.
And they're not, and they don't even get the opportunities for education sometimes, which is very sad.
I say CNAs are the backbone of healthcare.
Yeah, what would you do without them?
What would you do
That's
without
a job I would not do.
Oh,
They have all the dirty jobs, and
I'm very transparent with my team. I tell them what you guys do, I cannot do.
No,
I would say it.
Yeah,
I would
for
say
sure.
it easily, yes.
But you want to praise those people. You know, if you have a loved one and someone comes into the home to help them, or they live in a community and there are people there to help them, praise those people, please.
Right, praise them.
You know, buy them an apple pie. Do something. I always tell people, no excuses. There's always BOGO. Get one and give one away.
Right, right. One of the wildest things that I think about that's odd about our society in general, typically the things that we don't want to do generally, those industries aren't, I guess, financially backed. Like if you think about teachers,
Yeah.
I don't want to be honestly. I can't. I don't have the patience to teach
No.
my kids. Like I'm just being honest with you. But teachers should be paid a
Yeah.
whole lot
Yeah.
of money. CNAs doing their hard work, not paid enough.
Yeah.
I don't know why the world works that way. You know,
It's weird,
crazy.
isn't
weird.
it?
It's very
Yeah.
weird.
It is.
Mhm.
It is. And then people
But
get
if you
paid.
have a good voice, we'll pay you.
Yeah, right. You're right about that.
didn't
Yeah,
have
but
to
see, I
work.
think those people that have that voice that get all that money should be giving it back.
Which
Yes.
a lot do.
Yeah, a lot do. But that's,
Mhm.
definitely should be giving it back. That's what really kills me. When I see people that are hungry and when I see people that are homeless and I see some people living so extravagantly, it just kind of irks me.
Hmm.
Oh,
just
they've
that-
earned it.
I hope so.
She said they earned it.
I hope so.
Yeah, giving back is very important, and that's what. As soon as I saw and discovered, I reached out immediately to see someone that's doing what, I have a passion and I see a vision for myself and my purpose. You were a
It's
very
exciting.
inspirational. Yes.
When I do a show and I get good reviews or I do a conference or do a speaking engagement and I feel like I've helped somebody,
Yeah.
it makes me so happy. It just really makes me. In fact, I just had text her the other day. I hadn't spoken live in a while. And I need that just for myself.
Yeah, you like to do that.
Just to get out there and do that and be with live people.
Mhm.
So that was really nice.
Did you see on the news this week, Work done?
Work done?
He turned over a couple of houses.
Yes.
He's a football player, Winnie.
No, I don't know.
You must be not a
But-
Florida State fan, huh?
She's not any football fan.
Any football fan?
But he gave it to people, and they said, "How am I ever going to pay you?" And he says, "You pay it forward."
Yes.
Yeah.
Work done actually had that initiative for years, at least a
He's
decade. He
given
was
over
going a long time.
200 homes.
Yes.
He was on the Bucks
I
But
love that.
for that, but he's a wonderful man.
Mhm.
But it was so funny when I saw him. I thought, "Not the word." And I know because it's 25 years, and for some reason I didn't age and he did.
Hey,
He's a nice man.
Yes, the thing I'm jealous of Ward Don about is, he has his hair and he's much older than me. And I'm bald. So,
Yeah.
Yes, but God gave you a beautiful head.
Oh, thank you.
There you
Can
go.
you see a
Some
pinhead
people
without
can't.
hair?
Come on.
Yeah.
Not attractive. That's very nice.
So you also work with Accent Care Hospice.
Yes, ma'am.
I am also on the board of Accent Care Hospice. Let's talk about a little bit about hospice and what are some of the myths of hospice, because to most people, hospice is a dirty word,
Right.
as it should not be.
No.
I mean, people think you call hospice and your person dies the next day.
Yep.
Let's talk about that.
So with my current role, I have the luxury of being there for people during their most vulnerable time period. And I must say this is the first probably job that I really enjoy going to every day. Just being that reliable factor for people and changing those misconceptions. Really, it's just information, the knowledge, right? You have this perception for how many years when you hear the word hospice, but then you talk to someone like me who sheds the light on, well, you get all of these benefits that you're just saying no to.
Yeah.
That are covered. You don't have to pay for.
That
So
is so helpful to the caregiver, not
Yes.
just your loved one.
Exactly. And because the journey of the caregiver is really not highlighted enough, really.
No.
Right? Everyone focuses on the patient, which is
Right.
understandable.
Yeah.
Right. But the daughter or the mother and whatever.
Or the wife.
Or the wife, they may be going through this journey for 6, 7, 8 years.
Yep.
Right? Following along. Right? And there's no service out there that just really just think about that. And because of misconceptions, you say no.
Yeah.
You say no to
Because you don't know about it.
Right.
Yeah.
You say no to music therapy. You say no to a social worker that'll be around. You say no to a chaplain. You say no to.
Well, you know what? I liked when my husband had Accent Care Hospice before he passed away.
Okay.
And so the nurse would come in and she would take all his vitals and everything. And she's like, Linda, I need to take your vitals too and make sure that you're okay. And I can't tell you how much that meant to me.
Wow.
And it took her a minute,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's good she took it, because what if I was having an issue or something like that?
Exactly.
But it was just so kind. Like somebody was kind to me during that kind of thing. And some of those legacy projects. I mean, I have my husband's hand holding my granddaughter's hand in a bus, which is such
yeah.
beautiful.
It's very nice too.
And music therapy wasn't too good for my husband, because when they came in and they said, would you like some music therapy? And he goes, like what? And they said somebody will come in with a guitar and they can play some music. He goes, "What, Kumbaya?" And they said no. And he said, "Let me think about it." And he sat there for a minute and he said, "I'm thinking about it. If I want music therapy, we're going to put the Temptations on really loud and Linda's going to dance." I said, "I can do that."
Okay. Yeah, he still wanted to see you dance, though.
but for so many people, that music therapy can change everything.
Yes. Yeah. I had the opportunity of shadowing like a few visits, and I was like, music therapy, what's this? Learned it and actually watching it live.
Yeah.
A beautiful thing.
Well, you watch that person that was barely talking and now they're humming.
Right.
And now they got a little beat there.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
and then they got a little action going on.
Right.
Well, you know, when Frank was in rehab just in March, they came in and asked, because he had hospice, they asked him, did he want it? No. But his roommate wanted it. Well, his wife wanted it for him, and he couldn't talk. But anyway,
he had no choice.
I tell you, we were crying with the songs. They were amazing, and the voice was amazing. And
yeah.
So Frank enjoyed it because he heard it, but
Because he already heard it.
he doesn't want. A lot
It's
of people
scary.
feel that way. It's scary singing to me. It's sort of like having someone come over to your table when you're at a nightclub and
sing
and
to
then
you.
you wonder how much money do I give them.
Right. But if you see the interaction at, in an assisted living facility when the music therapist comes in and performs, and just the draw that it has on the facility with all the community members there, just surrounding that area. It's
Because everybody knows music.
Yes.
Everybody knows music. There's you find the right song, the right tune, you're good to go.
Right. But
And these young kids are great with knowing the eras.
yes,
you know?
yep. So in regards to hospice, just in general, hospice and palliative services, I always tell families, I'm a mama's boy. If I would put my mom on hospice, I don't see why you wouldn't.
Yeah. I mean, it was a gift. It was a gift. And I think everybody should take advantage of it. And you can graduate from hospice care.
Yes.
Sometimes you get a little better. You can graduate. You can come back on. Just check it out. Just give them a call if you think they can help you. And they'll let you know if they can help you. And I'm pretty sure if they can't help you right now, they will be able to help you.
Yes.
Because it makes it, and just, I think you have that little conversation, because you start having those conversations about death once you're with hospice. A lot of people don't have those conversations
Until
they get to there. And I think those conversations need to be had many times before the person passes. There may be some things you want to say or take back, or I don't know,
right,
or whatever. But I would prefer to have that opportunity to be able to do that.
Yeah, very much so.
It's unbelievable. What's the last thing you want our people to hear from you today?
Last thing I want people to hear is Norman Harris has found his purpose in life. I listened to a guy by the name of Dr. Miles Monroe, and he's a Bohemian doctor. He passed away. And one impactful thing that he stated that just sticks with me is when you find your God-given purpose in life, you can live. And at the age of 35, I feel like I found my purpose, and that's helping people, that's giving back, that's preparing people for the aging process, and assisting them through that process. So
everybody needs a purpose.
Everybody needs a purpose.
Even somebody that has dementia.
Right.
So you do your podcast bi-monthly?
Yes, bi-monthly. I haven't launched yet, so this
We'll let you know.
This is the official announcement here. But
I just love the name Comfort Measures.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for that name. I was thinking about that for a long time. What's a good catchy name? And then the Let's Get Comfy podcast is just a play off the name. But my thing is I found that my strong suits and what's natural to me is relationship management, being able to connect with people, making them feel comfortable and making them feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
So that's my superpower, I feel, and I feel I've owned it finally now.
Yeah, you have to own it.
You have to own it. Yes.
Yeah. So where can our listeners find you?
Comfort Measures, on Facebook, Comfort Measures Consulting. Same thing for Instagram as well. LinkedIn is where you see most of my activity.
And spell your name for them.
Norman Harris. If you can't spell that, come on now. But NORMAN. It's Norman Harris, Harris.
And I'll put all the information in the show for everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being with us today. I really appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
And now it's time to hear from our wonderful partners, so don't go away. We'll be right back on Connecting Caregivers Radio.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Choosing the right chiropractor is an important choice to make. Located in Seminole, the Alexander Spine Center team is trained on the latest chiropractic treatments and technologies. At Alexander Spine Center, you'll find chiropractic and physical therapy care that is safe, effective, and a natural approach to pain and other health-related issues. Chiropractic unlocks your body's potential and natural healing process to ensure your life is a healthy life. We treat clients from the womb to the tomb. Call 727-397-3000 for a free consultation today, or visit our website at www.alexanderspinecenter.com.
They take good care of me twice a week, so check them out.
Arden Courts is not just a place to live. It's a place to call home. Residential living combined with quality caregiving. This is the philosophy behind Arden Courts. Communities created exclusively for individuals with Alzheimer's disease and related dementia who would benefit from a safe and structured environment. For additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides, call 888-478-2410 to locate a community nearest you. Inquire about our educational seminars, resource library, or support groups, or simply feel free to ask questions you may have about Alzheimer's and related dementias. At Arden Courts, we know, we understand, and we can help because memory care is all we do. Remember, call 888-478-2410 for additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides.
We believe the power of the human body and mind can do amazing things, and that tapping into that power, not just tricking it with a temporary disguise, is possible. Superpatch technology uses a special pattern and vibrotactile technology to help you go from feeling blah to hurrah. Now, once the Superpatch is in contact with your skin, it triggers a neutral response in the brainstem that helps you tackle your daily problems head on. Whether you're struggling with pain, balance, stress, or focus, we have a solution that might be right for you. With Superpatch's 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Hi, this is Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregivers. I started using the Liberty Patch over 3 years ago. I used to be a tripper, but since wearing a Liberty Patch, I haven't tripped once. The Liberty Patch is proven to reduce the risk of falling by up to 8 times. And as we all know, if you prevent the fall, you prevent the call. Don't wait until it's too late. Preventative solutions are the answer.
Superpatch does not claim to diagnose, treat, or cure illness. Superpatch is FDA registered. To receive 25% off your first order, go to sticktoit.info. That's sticktoit.info and learn more.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
You guys know how much I love the Super Patches. When I get emails all week long from caregivers saying that they're not afraid to take a shower anymore because they're not afraid to fall, or someone that is now off their pain meds, or someone that can now sleep through the night, it's a big deal. So we can talk about that more whenever you want. But we have some events coming up I want to tell you about. So there's going to be a new memory cafe. It makes me very excited. A memory cafe is where a caregiver can come with their loved one. It's a gathering of individuals where you're going to just socialize, maybe have some separate time. And this is a brand new group that's going to be run by Maureen Rulison from Caregiver Support and Resources, Neighborly Care Network, and Home at Last. And it's going to be, isn't that fabulous?
Oh my goodness.
It's going to be at the Sunny Harbor Adult Day Center in Palm Harbor. And they'll be meeting the first and third Thursday of every month at 3:30. So RSVP is 727-754-1100. And the information, of course, will be on my website, on my calendar.
That's wonderful.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's good for her.
Yes.
Then we have a Salute to Heroic Veterans Tour at the Springstead Theater. And this is from the Veterans Heat Factory. So they raise all money to help veterans. So it's going to be a concert. 100% of the proceeds go to the Veterans Heat Factory. And that's on July 8th at 7 p.m. And you can get information at 352-251-7015. That'll be on my site. This is very cool. Somebody brought this to my attention yesterday. Saturday, July 14th, Summer Ponytail Challenge. It's when they cut off kids' ponytails to give their hair to other people that can use their hair. So all the donations, all the hair that will be cut that day will be sent to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. It's for kids with cancer and other medical conditions who have lost their hair. So the hair has to be at least 10 inches long or longer to be able to cut it off. That information will be on my website too, or you can call 727-424-9243.
A lot of hair.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And then we have Dr. Tam Cummings is back again, gerontologist, speaker, dementia expert with Arden Courts, July 10th. At where is it at? Oh, at the Seminole City Park View Room. The cool thing is Tam will be speaking from 10 to 12, and I learn something new from Tam every single time I hear her. But she will also do private consultations from 1 to 4, free of charge. And she is a fabulous gerontologist. Take advantage of that. Go there. I'll be there that day, because like I said, we learn something new from her every time. And it's sponsored by Arden Courts. Phone number 727-517-7800. That'll be on there. There's the gal. Oh no, that's over. What was the other one? Oh, I want to talk about the Savvy Caregiver program. They have classes at where is it? The Sunshine Center. So it's a 6-week course. They meet once a week for 2 hours on Fridays from 3:30 to 5:30 at the Sunshine Center. So if you're interested, if this course has already started, they run them consecutively. You can sign up for another course. I don't know if you can come in the middle. But anybody I know of my caregivers that takes this said, oh my goodness, Linda, I learned so much stuff. And that's through Area Agency on Aging. You can call Terry Tona at 727-570-9696, extension 160. Have I forgotten anything? Did you ask me about an event? I don't remember what it was or if it was one of these. Well, anyway, I'm getting the flags from Ed. I am so glad that you're all here this week. I hope you learned something new. Like I say, if you not have a problem or you need an answer to something, call me. If I don't know the answer, I know someone who knows the answer, and I will find out for you. I promise I will never leave you flat. So tune in next week for another fabulous show. Remember that God loves you all the time, and have a delicious day.